Welcome back to Exposing the Hidden Reality. Last week, we started a fascinating conversation with message strategist and copywriter Jenn Prochaska of The Right Difference about artificial intelligence, authenticity, marketing, hiring, and the future of work. In part one, we explored what AI can do and where human expertise still really matters. If you missed it, you can go back to episode 40 and listen. In this episode, number 41, we continue part two of our conversation centered on AI, and we talk about digging deeper into the opportunities, concerns, and real world implications of AI for professionals, entrepreneurs, and business owners. From visibility and influence to economic empowerment and human connection, this discussion challenges us to think beyond the technology itself and consider what remains uniquely human in a rapidly changing world. You're going to love where this conversation goes next. And if you're just joining us now, welcome. Let's dive in.
There's still opportunity for all of us. I think, at least for me, I've just in the last 48 hours, I really had to sit back and open my mind a little bit to, okay, all the stuff that I take for granted, that's the stuff that I need to teach. And whether somebody pops it into an AI bot or not is out of my control.
The example I was thinking about, Jen, was you can ask AI to create an image for you. There is a difference between an image that AI would create, an image that I would create if I was sketching it, an image that a graphic designer would present me if I gave them an idea, and a difference with an actual photograph that I take of a scene that inspires me, and what an artist might create that touches an element in me that AI will never capture, because it's that humanness, that relationalness, that spatial awareness that somebody who is an artist can evoke a set of emotions that AI will never be able to capture.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Michelangelo still has millions of people who go to see the Sistine Chapel every year, right? Millions of people go to see his marble works.
Yeah. And I was it in 10X is greater than 2X, where he talks about mastery and Michelangelo? Yeah. Just his point, like with every project, Michelangelo got more, got better, got stronger, whatever it was. Right.
We can rebuild him. We can make better than he was before.
Yeah, right.
$1 million man.
And he did it too by working out of his depth, right? He was qualified to be sculpting the David and then to be right, but he did it anyways, and he lived up to the challenge. So that maybe that's the way to close this conversation. Are we living up to the challenge of what AI presents to us? Or are we sticking our head in the sand, pretending it doesn't exist, and living our lives anyway? Because the other key piece is that all the industrial revolutions we've been through have always resulted in more jobs, right? And 60%, I think in the AI Driven Leader, Jeff Wood says 60% of the jobs we have now didn't exist 60 years ago. So maybe it's just our lack of creativity that has us scared. And I think the way to figure out what it's capable of is to start using it and see how it works for you, because how you use it, Jen, and how you use it, Sandra, is never how I'm going to use it. But that doesn't mean it can't help us with automations or tools or being a thought partner.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to put it. I listened to the Copywriter Club podcast for many years. It effectively changed my business, and it's great. It's a huge influence in the copywriter sphere. And before AI became a household word, they launched a podcast around it. And there was some AI grumblings here and there. And I was kind of like, ugh, AI, blah, 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 right? Old person, get off my lawn. but they had a podcast. And I was like, if they feel like AI is something that I need to pay attention to and listen to, then AI is something I need to pay attention to and listen to. And what came out shortly thereafter is, will AI take some copywriters' jobs? Yes, absolutely. But I hate to say it like this, but the good ones will survive. The ones that use it will survive. The ones that incorporate it will survive. The ones that fight it won't. The ones that produce AI slop won't. And so I made that decision that I'll be in the category that survives, right? And I've been adjusted. I include prompts now with every digital product that I create, every workshop that I hold. I have an opportunity where I'm like, if you are comfortable using AI, this is a great way to use it, right? When you're coming up with your ideal persona, and we've gone through the demographics, we've talked through some of the psychographics, we've done our research, pop that baby into your favorite bot, and here's a prompt, and it'll write a beautiful 250-word story about your person. It'll bring your ideal client to life. And you can go in and adjust things and make it more in your voice, if you will, or whatever style of writing you want. But that just saved potentially 2 days worth of creative writing. I feel like that is a good use for it, because that now empowers that solopreneur who would never have been able to do that because that's not their zone of genius. We've just given that person a caricature, right? That they can now look at and market to and speak to and communicate to. So that it becomes an asset. Now, would they have ever known to do that before? No. Would they have looked at a blank page and been like, I can't write a story? So there's less friction. We've removed some stumbling blocks. To your point, Annette, that could be an entire career unto itself, right? I mean, how to create characters in your marketing, how to do these aspects of marketing that for so long, so few of us produced or even knew to produce might now become everyday occurrences, thereby making marketing more efficient, more effective. People's lives are improved because it's more efficient, more effective. So I hadn't thought about it that way before, but there is a possibility that we're all rising together.
And here we were worried that we wouldn't find things to talk about.
I was like, should we stop now? Because otherwise I could keep going. And the conversations have to keep going. It'll happen offline. It'll happen every time I meet somebody new and we talk about AI, I learn something.
And the other thing I was talking with one of my career coach friends about is I will show my clients how to use AI for their resume, their LinkedIn. So if I'm not going to share the secrets, then why would you work with me? So that is something that I also think could be a differentiator for you, Jenn, for you, Sandra, for me, is that, yes, I'll show you what I do. It's not a secret. And if it helps you and you can do it next time, great.
And it frees us up for higher strategic thinking. That's always the argument with these things, right? From the horse and buggy age to now, right? Is that the menial tasks will be free from the menial tasks, and we can stay strategic, we can stay intentional and learn along the way.
We start from a different place.
Yes, thank you.
In my case, right? If I've given you some information that is easy for me to produce using AI, and that creates a level of understanding that moves us up a notch in terms of what we can now talk about, it eased how quickly we got there. One, it means that we're starting from a place where we can create more depth, more learning, more advancement. And you got there faster and probably cheaper than if you and I had spent 6 months trying to get you to that point.
Yeah.
I think
do love
about
that.
the human design reports, right? People can go out and pull their human design if they wanted to. They don't have to pay me for that. They can spend 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours on YouTube gathering that information. The value is that I have done that for you. I give you the report, you paid a short amount of money, you get the information condensed. You don't have to go out searching for it. And when I give you that information, it now creates an opportunity for us not to talk about everything, but to talk about those pieces where you now have a clear understanding. This is the point that we need to work on because this is difficult for me. Great. Let's start there. We just saved 7 months worth of work,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
right?
And
Somebody tells you you're a manifesting generator and it turns out you're a projector. Isn't that helpful?
super helpful. We have something that can improve the lives of other people, and marketing is simply the communication of that solution. And to your point, Sandra, if we can use these tools to put together messaging that resonates for the person who needs to most hear it, while also leveling up our product and service, we are going to improve those people's lives that much faster. And I hadn't thought about it that way until this conversation. So that's super helpful. And the businesses that aren't improving, that are there just to make money or to take advantage of people or to push falsities, those businesses aren't going to last anyway. How much money they make in the meantime, we don't know. But maybe with this higher, starting from a much more educated, much more aware place, will help people weed those places out faster, right? That's my whole hope, that if you understand that if a marketing person doesn't ask you who your ideal client is, you should not pay them to market on your behalf. If everybody knew that, you know how many false bad actors would not make any money? So if we can just start there, great. Now you've weeded out a whole bunch of people who are using big words and jargon to make you feel stupid and hand over your credit card.
Yes.
So we can educate more quickly. I like that. That puts me in a better mood about AI.
I love this book. You and I have talked about it. This is Marketing by Seth Godin. And Seth is never going to be out of business. But AI can do what he does, but he's never going to be out of business, right? Because his expertise is not in where AI's expertise is. His expertise is, this is what works because I know it, I've lived it, this is my experience, this is what I can tell you. These are the long living parts of it, right? And I think that's what we need. That's what can help us best, is what can we be the best at that AI can't replace. AI is never going to be Sandra Wint. It can learn to talk like Sandra Wint. It can learn, scary, I know. It can learn how Sandra might approach a particular problem. It can maybe regurgitate some information that Sandra has said, but it's never going to be able to be me, period. It's never going to be able to be Annette. It's never going to be able to be Jenn. And I think one of the things that Seth talks about in his book is, in the age that we are currently living in, you cannot afford to be anybody but who you are to marketplace.
Yeah. So true.
Jenn's thinking.
Oh,
It's just such an interesting, because the word that keeps coming to me is yet.
Yet.
AI doesn't do these things yet. But I guess we'll stay in today. We'll just stay in today. I saw somebody, the reason why I was so down yesterday about AI and my livelihood is because there was somebody on Threads and she was posting these prompts. There are some very prominent copywriter names who have created frameworks and systems that have made them seven figures, rightfully. And she was giving away the prompts to generate their framework, basically. And I was like, oh my God, the morality of it is a whole different discussion. But just from a self-preservation, from an intellectual property standpoint, right? And nothing I teach is something I made up. That's my whole thing. I teach tried and true marketing. I mean, I create things to help people understand it. And I certainly have added in my own, to your point, Sandra, my own experiences and what I know works, what I've seen work, etc. But this is in your marketing and branding textbooks, right? But for somebody to be giving away the prompts, it made me feel like, okay, well, that's going to make us all pretty irrelevant pretty quickly. Like, why even sell something? Because all somebody has to do is say, hey, find so-and-so's framework to make $1 million, whatever it is. But what you reminded me of, both of you actually in this conversation, is, okay, but you could hand me lithium. I don't know what to do with it. You could give me the recipe and I could make it, but I don't have any idea what to do with it. So I could be entering in those prompts, but I have no idea why it works, why I would need it, how to use it, how to troubleshoot. There is still opportunity. And by the time I Googled and asked AI and figured it all out, even if I did, it would take me 3 times as long as if I had just paid the person who actually created that and has a system to help me implement it. It's kind of like, could I build a house? I guess so. It's going to take me a really long time, and there's going to be a lot of mishaps along the way. I can do anything. I have a friend who always says, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. So yeah, information is only part of the battle.
Yeah.
Experience and expertise still today count for something.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to ride that out until my bot can think.
So you can buy cookbooks. I can get,
Yeah.
my grandmother was still here. I can get my grandmother to show me what she does to make gnocchi and what she does to make homemade bread. It's never going to taste like my grandmother's.
Yeah. That's a great example.
Yeah. And
it's not meant to. I would add, it's not meant to. She was special, and that activity was special because it really was meant to be made by her.
And because there's a feel to it.
Yeah. Made with love.
Yes. And there's a feel to knowing when the dough is ready. They teach somebody until they have that experience. Knowledge and integration are 2 totally different things. Knowing what to do and doing it because you are embodying what it means are 2 totally different things.
Very true.
Bob always asks me when I put something to cook, how long does it need to be in for? I don't know, till it's cooked. How do I know if it's cooked? Oh, there's a look to it. Well, is that 15 minutes? Is that 20 minutes? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It depends. How much water there was this time, how much flour there was, what the temperature is outside.
What does it smell like?
Exactly. Does it look burnt?
If it looks burnt, we've already got the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
Annette, you were going to say something.
no, that's completely it with these tools is they can get you started. They can give you the recipe, but then you have to figure out how to make it yours. Right? Oh, that resume bullet point still doesn't sound like me. It contains the right information, but it's not me. And so use it as the inspiration point and then customize, customize, customize. And then the other piece I was going to say that, what's that quote? I always get it wrong, but if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go. So the other piece of this is you could do it with your AI chatbot, which is essentially going at it alone. Or you could surround yourself with somebody that have done it before or gone before you or other people in the same position as you. And that is the part that usually makes all the difference for most people. So whether it's life coaching, career coaching, marketing coaching, and support, don't go it alone.
Agreed. What fun would that be anyway? My chatbot does not have conversations like you guys.
And it can't meet you for coffee, Jen.
No, it can't buy me a book. It can't drop off a beautiful piece of art that I can turn and have sand falling with colors. And it can't take a look at me and know that I might need an ear. It can't say, how are you today? Something's off. So no, yeah, community is everything. It was good to see you guys.
Thanks so much for joining us for this conversation. If today's discussion sparked new ideas, challenged your perspective, or gave you something to think about, we'd love to continue this conversation with you. Join our community at exposingthehiddenreality.com to receive episode updates, exclusive resources, behind the scenes content, and insights we only share with our email subscribers. To connect with Jenn Prochaska, find her on LinkedIn and Instagram at The Right Difference. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep challenging assumptions, and keep exposing the hidden reality.